everyone, Theresa is coming into Arizona. She asked us if we could meet up and just meet and greet each other. I'm going to interview her if she'll let me. And we've got the results of the Instapot versus the sous vide yogurt. It was out last night at 11 p.m. I popped it out of the sous vide and the Instapot, covered the Instapot, put them all in the refrigerator so we can come back and do a show and tell which one's which and get everybody's opinion. Anyway, you guys, see you in the next segment. Hey everyone, good morning, good morning. Welcome all you new folks and welcome back everybody to Loving It on Keto. Man, you guys, it's my birthday month. I had a ball yesterday. One thing I forgot to do was push the button on my phone when I was sharing my food at our meal. So you guys didn't get to see any of it. I looked at the film today and asked Harry, where's the food? He goes, what do you mean? I go, well, I filmed it. He goes, well, then you must have done it on your phone. I said, no, you did it on your phone. He goes, no, you did it on your phone. So I checked my phone. It's not there. Checked Harry's phone. It's not there. So we're sorry. But like I said, Harry had a cheeseburger without the bun. I had a planked salmon with broccolini on the side. And Harry had broccolini, right? Yep. And then we shared a shrimp cocktail and I had a Blue Point oyster, which I love. Anyway, you guys, we had a ball at the Arboretum. If you're ever in the Phoenix area, do the Phoenix Zoo and the Phoenix Arboretum. They're right there. Papago Park is right across the freeway. It's a fun place to walk. They have a nice paved trail, as well as some of the ones where you can go up into that little mountain area and check it out. There's a cave up there that people like to climb up to and sit and look at the view. So anyway, just wanted to share that with everybody. But you guys, we did do a check on our blood first thing this morning. I want to share that with everybody right here. It's finger pricking time. It's finger pricking time. You guys, it's finger pricking time. Yes, it is. Happy Monday. Happy Tuesday. It's Monday for us, Tuesday for you. I mean, we just woke up. The coffee just got through brewing. 0.02. It's a 2.
0.02?
Oh, 0.2. 2 parts oxygen. 1 part, I don't know. 102. Not bad here, but not good on
Here, help me out. This isn't working.
Okay.
Three.
Well, that's good.
115.
Where is it? Okay, you guys, come back and we'll talk. Yes, indeed. And Harry and I are at least fasting. Now, Harry wants yogurt, and he's going to be the taste tester. We did not eat this morning because I am fasting. Harry was not hungry this morning. He's getting hungry now. So we are going to do a look at the Instapot yogurt and the sous vide yogurt. We're going to check it for consistency, texture, taste, etc., to see if there's any difference. If you guys remember, 36 hours ago, we did this where we showed how to make it right here in that video. And I talked about we did everything the same between the two except the way that we cooked it for 36 hours. Now we're going to come back and see if there's any difference with the Instapot versus the sous vide. So you guys come back and we'll share. Okay, you guys, I'm going to bring out my Instapot, which I just popped it right in right after 11 p.m. I take it right out warm, put them, ooh, look at those. How pretty are those? These are my sous vide. The nice thing about sous vide and cooking them in the big plastic tub is you can watch it. You can look to see if it's separating, what the consistency is. when you are cooking it, the Instapot, you can't, right? It's just there the whole time. But look how pretty those are, you guys. Harry, can you get a very close up on those? Let me get 2 glass bowls that we can look through. So I've got 2 glass bowls. I have a napkin because this is going to have condensation on this lid. I suggest if you have the Instapot that you can remove, that you buy the lid. It's a little bit more expensive, but man, is it worth it. And you can burp it and really seal it in nicely. Now let me get my spoons. Also with this, if you have room in your refrigerator, you do not have to take it and put it into glass jars, which I've got right here. You can just leave it in there and dish it out as you go. However, I don't have the room, so I'm going to transfer this into glass jars. I'll do that off the air. Now, one thing I do want to do very quickly is when I pull this lid off, I want to grab any condensation that might get into the bottom. So come on over here, Harry. I'm going to come this way with the lid. Or you want me to go this way?
No, that's fine.
This way with the lid. Oops. Yeah, see that dripped in a little bit? So you just take this and kind of dab where it did the yogurt, but oh man, is that beautiful. Oh, look at that. Look at that, you guys. I am so jazzed.
I like that one.
Well, now you cannot be biased because you're the judge. You cannot already
Taste-wise, they're the same.
Harry, you don't know because this is a new batch.
Okay, all right, I'll be quiet.
And the other batch that we made was like the seed one. This one was the mother batch. Mm-hmm. This is the seeded batch.
Okay.
I don't want you to be quiet, but I don't want you to make a preconceived notion of which one you like or it's not going to work. So, I'm going to put these guys over there. Come over here. We're going to open this one up. Now look at that. It looks pretty dang thick to me.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So, I am gonna put this yogurt right here. So come on over here because I'm gonna do a nice thick scoop of it.
Yeah, creamy.
Look at that. Now see how nice and creamy that one is? Now look inside. It's a beautiful consistency.
Yeah, neat.
Now, come over here and let's check this one out. I'll try to do it with my right hand. This one is thicker. Mm-hmm. It's thicker, and look inside. This is just like sour cream. If you get sour cream in a tub, Daisy sour cream in a tub is like this. If you get Daisy sour cream in the squeezable, it's like this. Do you see? Mm-hmm. It's softer. It's a softer, creamier texture. Now what I need to know is, do they taste exactly the same? Is one sweeter than the other? Is one more sour and tart than the other? And I need Harry to do a taste test. So I want you to taste the one from the sous vide first. Let me get something to cleanse your palate with. Water. Let me get a little bit of water because okay. Sous vide first.
That's this one, right?
Mm-hmm. Smell it. Look at the texture of it.
Smell exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, what?
Yeah.
Is it slightly?
I can't tell you anything until I taste the other one.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't cut it with me.
Okay, well, this one's a little more sour.
Okay.
And that's from here.
That's from the Instapot.
And this one's less sour.
From the sous vide. That's where it was before. It's more sweet.
Yeah.
It's not sour. It's more creamy and sweet.
I think I kind of like this one better. It's not
Oh.
It's not as, it's got a great base.
Does it?
Yeah, you can add like really good flavors to this one. Well, probably this one too once you put other stuff with it, right? But yeah, that's where I'm at.
So the sous vide wins.
Yeah, so for flavor and then for texture, this one.
The Instapot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be up to the person, you know?
Yep. I noticed when I did the sous vide last time, it was a sweeter taste, more like cream. And I noticed that the Instapot had just that tartness, that sourness of regular Fage yogurt or Greek yogurt. The good news is they're both delicious. And what you can do is you can buy a yogurt strainer. It's a very fine sieve. You pour your yogurt in it, the whey drips out through the bottom, and then the more whey that drips out and the longer you leave it in there, the more like Philadelphia cream cheese or even farmer's cheese it is. So I'm telling you, this is just lovely, absolutely delicious, and I wanted to share with you the consistency. See, look in here. That's the Instapot. It's firmer and a little tart. This is the sous vide. It's firm, but a little bit softer, creamier in texture. When you mix it, it's going to get a little bit creamier, isn't it, Harry?
Yep.
And it's a little bit less sour or tart. So you guys, that's it. Basically, you would do it exactly the same way as the video that we're going to share at the end where I did it, only you would add all of the probiotics, the L-reuteri medium that you would use, and then if you wanted to do the Gaceri or the Cassie, like I did for the Super Gut, you would add those per the instructions of the Super Gut book or Dr. William Davis's recipe online. You guys can Google him. He's the Wheat Belly man. He did the book Super Gut. I think you can get it on Kindle for free. If not, it's like 99 cents. I'm not sure. I have the hard book. But there you go. There you have it. That's the yogurt. So you guys come back in the next segment. Hey everyone, we are at Starbucks in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have got Theresa here from Michigan. Yeah. She flew out, she sent me an email, said I'm gonna be visiting Phoenix, Arizona. Would you maybe meet me someplace so that we could meet and greet each other? And so I said, is there a Starbucks near you? Let me know. And so here we are. We're at Starbucks and we're meeting Theresa.
Yeah.
So Theresa, tell me, what brought you to a ketogenic lifestyle?
That's a good question.
Tell me your story.
My story. So, like many people, I tried a lot of things.
Oh, yes.
And most of my life I was overweight.
Okay.
And then...
as a child, or did it happen more in teenage years?
Child, my whole family was somewhat overweight. And then back in the time in the 60s and, probably 70s, when, not as many people were overweight. So we stuck out a little bit. So, but then, kept trying everything, Weight Watchers. I remember even in a magazine in the back of like Junior Teen or whatever, sending away from some diet plan back then. Oh, yeah. So in college, I lost a little bit of weight, but still struggled with my weight. And then finally, right after I got out of college, I met my husband. And then I really committed to losing weight, and I did Nutrisystem.
Okay.
And at that time, they had the counselors, and you met.
Right.
So I did learn a lot of good things about how to lose weight and all the behavioral things that we need to learn. But then after I got the weight off, I kept it off. And they had an incentive where you got a reward amount back. So that was a financial incentive. So I
Right.
did that. You had to stay within like 5 pounds, and I did that, which is kind of hard though. I mean, you know, our weight goes
Right.
up and down.
And it does.
Yeah. So, but
Did you
then,
have to go weigh in?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
you did?
You had to go weigh in. I think in maintenance it was once a month.
Okay.
And I remember trying to take diuretics and whatever before that weigh-in day, which
Right.
was not good. But I still kept active. I had to do a lot of exercise before I went out, you know, on the town with my husband or whatever. So it was like, you had to do what you had to do.
Right. I've been there, done that.
And it
3
was-
hours of exercise,
And
right,
the
Harry?
low fat phase, right?
Right.
So I was counting fat grams and not to eat more than 20 a day.
Right.
Can you imagine that? Like
The
20?
opposite. 20,
Yeah.
20 fat grams.
Yes,
Did you
20
get like
fat
dry
grams.
skin and dry
No,
hair?
but I had really bad GI type
Oh.
of problems
Yeah.
that I don't want to have on
Right.
camera. No.
Right. No, I get. I
You know
get.
what I mean?
Do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got pretty bad at one point. But I was able, that was the only time in my life where I had like normal weight for a length of time. Then we got married, and then had my first son, and then so gained weight through that, and then got most of it off, which I was lower than I am now. But then son number 2 kind of did me in.
Yeah.
So my second one, I was not able after that. But in between the 2 sons, I used a product that had herbals in it, but also had some of that ephedra in it.
Right.
So that's not good for you. But I was like, this worked really well. Along with,
Right.
it made me feel like almost like I do in keto right now, where I
Right.
don't feel hungry. But
That was the
not
ephedra.
good. Yeah, right.
Or the, yeah.
Yeah. So then tried a number of different things and just couldn't lose the weight. I went to Jenny Craig, and for years and years, all that money on all the food, and maybe lost 20 pounds in years.
Yeah.
And finally, I had to make a choice whether I was going to do their program.
Right.
Like they had a membership thing to get a discount. And I finally said, I don't think I'm going to do it. So I had people come to me with different things. Like I'm an eye doctor, and one of my patients said something about he lost weight, and
Right.
that brings your ears
Little
up. You're like,
antenna. Doo, 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 doo.
how'd
Right.
you do it? And
Right.
he talked about bulletproof coffee, and I'm like, what the heck is that? So then I'm Googling bulletproof coffee, and they're like talking about putting fat in coffee, and I'm like, that's so weird. Back then I was like, I would never want to give up my coffee make
Right.
hazelnut creamer. I could never do that.
Right.
And but then I don't know, different things. I did research, things came up. Some people were a little bit more ketogenic, so I started watching YouTube, all
Right.
kinds of things.
How long ago was that?
I started in 2018.
Okay.
There was a girl that I worked with that was losing weight. She was doing low carb. There was little things that touched me, different places in my life that led me to this path
Okay.
to put it all together. But the first thing I did was the bulletproof coffee. So
Okay.
I put cream and butter in my coffee and blended it. And I drank that in the morning, and I was able to get through. And then I would drive home for work for lunch. And I said, what can I do to just start?
Right.
So I remember putting chips in my mouth. I went over to the garbage and I spit them out, and I said, no, one meal at a time. So that's what I did, was like one meal at a time.
Okay.
So I put eggs in, lunch meat, did like oil and vinegar.
Right.
So I had my salad. Then the next meal I would think, what kind of meat, So then I started absorbing everything. YouTube, started reading things.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And one thing leads you to somebody else, and then I have to get that
Exactly.
book and read about that, and then it kind of leads me over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think some of the first ones were not Dr. Berry, but he came along after. It was, who's the chiropractor one?
Eric Berg.
Yes,
Dr.
Dr. Berg, right. So, and then I was like, oh, coconut oil, oh, avocado,
Or that
ABC.
could be.
Yeah, Dr.
who's
Berg.
Is it? Was it
Yeah,
Dr.
it was
Berg?
Dr.
Okay.
Berg. And then something led me later to Dr. Berry, but there was a couple people that were selling some products
Right.
to some of those. So I didn't buy into any of that. But just watching, I loved all the videos like you. I wish I had seen you back then, because just how their meals, like what to do. And so I'd look at what they were making, and some of them are no longer keto.
And isn't that interesting?
It's very
Because
sad.
I think
Some of my
when the big
favorites.
C hit, a lot of people, well, first I think the evolution of what happens, and everybody jumps on that bandwagon, and then they
True.
jump over here. One of the things was carb upping or carb cycling.
Yes.
That got a lot of people in trouble. They started gaining weight, and then a lot of them caught the virus
Right.
and gained even more weight, and then they kind of floated off into Netherlands,
Yes.
you know, because I was watching, it was Simply Misty.
Yes, that's
and she's
exactly
here,
one of them. Oh, is she?
Mesa. And
Oh.
well, they had several things because their
Yeah.
family caught that, and then her daughter had major medical issues, and they dealt with a lot of things, and she just was going to go first. She was carb cycling, and then
Okay.
then everybody got sick. So there's a lot of people like that
Yeah.
that have done that I used to watch that are no longer. I used to watch Nicole Burgess.
Right.
She lost
Exactly.
100 pounds,
She was
started
one of the first
exercising,
ones,
and
too.
she is triathlete type now, and she's
Yeah.
carb cycling. But if she ever stopped, what would happen?
And then I look at what she posted even recently.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not to judge, but that a lot
Was
of
it
it
an
was a bunch of-
anaerobic or garbage?
It was a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, there's a bunch like that. So
It
I
was
don't want to
the-
go into names as
Yeah,
far as
right.
specifics, but
it was
you know,
sad.
she lost her weight, she's working,
Yes.
she's building up her muscles, all those
Yes.
things. But a lot of people like Keto Ginger,
Yeah,
she's
she was
gone.
one too. I
They
followed
had
her
a whole.
recipes.
We loved
I
her.
liked her recipe.
You know,
Yeah, she was funny
spatulator.
too. Yeah,
You know, and she had
spatulator.
some great recipes. But there's
Yeah.
a lot that
Yeah.
either jumped ship totally. But it started with the carb cycling. And
Okay.
I think it got a lot of people. I can name 4. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 5 people
Okay.
that totally started gaining the weight, that have gone off, and they're just doing no 6. Oh my gosh, 7.
Oh,
It was
wow.
all carb cycling that I used to watch. And there's a few that are still on, but they're not keto anymore.
Okay.
And they're trying to get the weight off that they gained
Different weight.
during all of that. So it's really hard. And
Yes.
I think one of the things that I have talked about is that it's a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
every single diet, and that's the main word. Diet that you go on, Nutrisystem, Jenny Craig,
Yeah.
Weight Watchers, FenFen, which I lost 65 pounds on FenFen. I weighed 135 pounds.
Wow.
But I looked good. I was not skinny. But I was also working out 3 hours a day. I would get up and speed walk for 3 miles before I'd go to work.
I'd go to work.
I'd be zooming. I worked out at work. I walked, and then I went and worked out at the gym to keep that weight off, because it was impossible for me, because I was on a 500 calorie, no fat, FenFen,
Oh,
go
wow.
once a week, get my shots, pick up their little packets of broth that had nothing was
Oh.
supposed to have fat in it. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, I've done every single diet that is imaginable, you know,
Right.
and
I think most of you ladies.
I lost weight, but I gained it
Well, you keep
plus.
trying, yeah.
And then every time I'd go off, I gained it plus and gained it plus. And after I did FenFen, when I gained all the 65 pounds back, and then more and more and more and more, it ruined between that. And then I went and had my lap band in 2005, and that really ruined my metabolism. So
Not
many
only
people.
2005.
Yes, it
What do you mean
was.
you had it put in?
Lap band put in.
Yeah, put in.
The challenge that I had was it ruined my metabolism, because I could only eat 500 to 800 calories a day, because
A day,
it was
a
so
whole day.
little
Wow.
dinky winky. I had a 3 millimeter size hole, a
Wow.
little bit bigger than that.
Well, it's the size
Little
of a
bit.
eraser.
So beautiful. I get
Oh, well,
to see
thank
it
you.
in
Sorry.
person.
But
get to see
I was
it in
just using
person.
it for sizing. But
Beautiful.
yeah, so people that watch me that are new are like, you're
Yeah.
not eating enough calories. You know, you're not eating enough of this. And I
Right.
try to explain that what I went through, what I had, and my throat was damaged from it and shrank and atrophied from 14 years of having it at so little, you know. So trying to repair my metabolism and try to lose weight at the same time. And being able to eat 12 to 1,400 calories now, and right now maintaining, because I swear, having the virus that we had, we've maintained the weight we gained.
Right.
But we have not been able to get, I'm playing this yo-yo plateau so badly, and it's driving me crazy.
I'm right
it's
there.
upsetting because it was easy for me. All of a sudden, it's not.
I know. Actually, that's when I met you guys.
Yes.
That's when I met you on YouTube. So I had gotten the zombie apocalypse lockdown virus in December.
And we got ours in January.
Right. So in December, I'm in bed with my laptop or my tablet, looking through videos.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first time you guys popped up.
Oh, there you go.
And so I started watching your videos, and then I think I went back to the older ones. And then you guys started getting sick, and I'm like, oh man, I'm sick, they're sick.
Everybody,
was watching what
that
you were
was
doing.
the big 2 months where most of the keto folks that missed it got it.
Yes.
It was weird.
And then, so then I'm kind of in the same. My lowest was the June, right when, after I went back to work, when we were locked down for like 8 weeks in Michigan. And then I went back to work, and I thought it was the mask too. I thought maybe carbon dioxide, mask. So that was my lowest, and then I was like not able to, I mean, I went up a little bit. I was at 10 pounds, right? And then I wasn't able to get it down until more recently. But then I've creeped up a little bit again. So it's harder. It seems like
I'm playing Ring Around the Rosie. It's just ring and round and round and round. And it's weird
we're
because
doing fasting, and I'm doing the same thing.
Yes, and if new people that see me, that if they don't see my back challenges, it's like, you need to do this. No, and I'll say, been there, done that.
Yes.
Look back at my older video, we did that challenge. It was, I mean, trying to do challenges to mix my body up, to get my body going,
Absolutely.
And then all of the life challenges that hit with my mom and with everything.
That's
just that
lot.
year of, for me, very, very stressful. I'm sure cortisol-laden stress. But I have not, and I know people probably don't believe me, but I have not had real bread, a real piece of cake, not even a bite, not even a piece of candy.
Wow.
I absolutely do not crave it, don't want it, don't care about it. That's one good thing I can say about my ketogenic lifestyle is even when we were very sick, it has not crossed my mind. And I have always been regimented as far as the diets I've been on. Every single one of them, follow the rules, did the points, did the calculations, bought the food, did the whole thing. But to keep that weight off was impossible when I quit doing the stuff.
Yeah.
Has she been doing the yogurt?
Yes.
No, my friend was making yogurt.
I should have brought you some. I made it. We just did the taste test beforehand.
Oh, wow.
Darn nabbit.
Oh, I would have been able to taste it firsthand.
Yes, you would have.
Are you into yogurt?
Oh yeah, I do. So I'm with a couple of girls that we do. Well, one of the girls calls it the Fat Girls Club, but it's a healthy book club is what I call it. Okay.
Well, it can be fat because that is good for you on keto.
Right.
So it's a
That's
different
true.
connotation. You're the fat girls. You get to eat fat, and that's what I would equate it to.
So we started, a couple of us, doing keto and then fasting along with spiritual ways for fasting too. And then some people petered out.
The Bible talks about it all the time.
Yeah.
Fasting and some of the religions that are out there fast specifically.
Exactly.
So absolutely.
So I worked on fasting from like earlier on, and I thought, I could never do this and that, but I got it up to longer fasts. So I do 36, 48, 72 hour fast.
I haven't done a 72 hour yet.
That one was a little hard. I've done it a couple times.
You did too.
Did I do a 70? Oh, that's right. I did in the beginning. We did. You're right.
Yeah.
And you whined because you can't even do 24 now, and you were doing it with me.
How can you do this?
I don't know. It's like it's a fasting muscle. I think you've said that before too. It's like a muscle. You have to, and then when you get away from it, you have to kind of ease back into it.
And there's a point where when you hit that hunger, if you can push past that, then all of a sudden you get clarity. I do anyway, brain clarity. I feel a rush of, I'm excited, I'm happy. I just get an endomorphin, I think, rush on that. But it's difficult, it's hard, but I'm not going backwards.
So one of our books was the William Davis gut. But
Super Gut or the wheat belly?
Yes, Super Gut. So I was bad though. That was one of the books I didn't read. But one of my friends was promoting making the yogurt, and she was a couple of them made the yogurt. So I kept saying, oh, I don't want another thing to do, but you know, I see the benefit of it, and you're kind of convincing me a little bit more that I should do it.
I wish I would have had to go home and get some. We'll just sit here and talk here. But I got to point which way you got to go, because it's that way.
Don't go the other way.
Yeah, right.
He does. No, honest to goodness, if he goes the exact opposite way, it's like his south and north pole in his brain are turned around.
My other sister is like that too.
It's like crazy.
Can't remember.
And I'm like, I have a map in my brain, and I can tune in and look down.
Like your dad.
Yeah.
Pretty good like that too. Yeah.
So tell me, what are your favorite things that you've incorporated that you like to eat or you like to do? Because it seems like with every single diet, and they say most people only cook the same 12 things, like on a rotating basis. You know, Taco Tuesday, Friday was fish night, you know, all the fish sticks, fish fry, whatever, hamburger Mondays, you know, if they watch the games. So what are your go-tos? What's your go-to?
So one of the earliest people that I did follow, now I remembered, was Keto Connect.
Yes. And have you watched them lately?
Not too much.
They're not keto anymore. Yeah. Well, Omega had some major issues after her second child. Yeah. And she had to have surgery and everything else. And it's been a very long, drawn out. And prayers for her and her family.
Right. So they're red pepper chicken.
Ooh, yeah.
With the goat cheese on it. That's one of my go-tos. There's some pork loins that I like to do. We do a fair amount of steaks. One of the things I did was one of the times when this group of girls got together, we used to physically get together at a church, and the leader, she would actually cook for us.
Oh, nice.
And give us recipes and show us, you know, how we could incorporate stuff. So we were incorporating, it was like around Thanksgiving, what favorites of your family can you alter?
Right.
Okay.
And that's what I did with mine.
Right. So I took, I did a couple different versions of like cheesy potatoes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So the turnips, not so great.
Cauliflower is lovely.
Cauliflower, I didn't use that, but I did kohlrabi.
Okay.
So I do a kohlrabi and cheese. That's an exact substitute for my husband's family recipe.
Okay.
So
Nice.
It does have American cheese in it a little bit, which is a little carbier, but you can
It's more
alternate
creamy.
that. But that to me, I kind of crave that. So if there's some time when I feel like I need potatoes,
You can do that.
Yeah, I can do that. So, but I'm not as good as you. I did have like a little piece of bread last night. My sister took me to the Compass at the Hyatt.
Oh,
it's the rotating
one up
restaurant.
on the hill right there.
It's downtown.
Okay.
It's in the Hyatt.
I don't know that one.
It's
Okay.
Rotating 360
we'll have to
going
go there.
around. The steak was really good.
Was it?
It was a wag.
And a beautiful view.
Yeah.
We're going to have rain supposedly tomorrow. Our weather here changes so quickly because of the wind that we get.
Right.
So Wagyu. That was like the good beef.
It was good. It was really good. So so I did have a little piece. They had a bone marrow as a appetizer.
I love bone marrow.
So, and it was kind of weird, you know, to see the whole bone there, and I didn't know if my sister would think it was weird. She didn't mind. She did taste it a little bit, but I was like,
so good.
Yeah, it was good. So I did
Smear it
have a little
on
bit
there,
of bread. So, so I tend to do not as good as counting anymore all my carbs, but I do try to stay pretty.
And we've gotten very ketovore, except if we're like having a hamburger, you know, a protein style where they're put something on there. And it's not that we don't love vegetables or like vegetables, but being a vegetarian and a vegan for 6 years, I've been there and done that, and I don't, unless I crave it.
Yeah.
Like broccoli, like loaded broccoli, or my broccoli salad, you know, that I put onions, red onions, and chopped pieces of cheddar cheese and mix it with a mayonnaise and garlic, or my cauliflower or something like that.
Right.
The meat is more refreshing for us, and eggs and bacon than it was heaven. The first time we went out and we went through In-N-Out Burger to eat our first hamburger after 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Was like this anticipation. It was just like, do you really think we should do this? And he's like, I don't know, do you think we should do this? And it was like, I don't know, okay, 1, 2, 3, go, right? Yeah. We actually had to get used to eating it again, because your taste buds change.
Oh, they do.
We were used to all the faux meat, including the Impossible, whatever is out there now, Beyond, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what caused that.
Because,
really?
He had a silent one, if you ever watch backwards, going backwards. And when I decided that's it, we're quitting vegan, we're doing this. But now, of course, we really enjoy it. And he was always a hamburger, cheeseburger, bacon guy. And when I said, you can have hamburger, it was like, oh, I can't have that. Yeah, I can't have that. And I go, yes, you can. It was like, no, really, can I really have that? And I'm like,
serious?
Yes, you can. He was terrified. So we eased ourselves into it because he was terrified of.
I bet.
You made meat, no fat, no salt, vegetables up the yin yang for 6 years, and now you're throwing out bacon. Okay, did you get a secret $1 million life insurance policy when I wasn't looking?
I'm like, okay.
He said that. He goes, okay, what's going on? I did. What's going on? And I'm like, what do you mean, what's going on? Here, have some bacon. He's like, pushing the plate away. No, really, what's going on? And I'm like, what are you talking about? No, and I'm sitting there eating the bacon. Have some bacon, you know, have the eggs. So now, but it was hard. It was really, and he was like, no, you know.
My husband is skinny as a rail.
Okay.
His whole family has the highest metabolism. So I said, he's got the highest,
fat,
I got the lowest.
Yeah.
So he could eat anything. He'll eat and then he'll be like roasting because he's just burning it off.
Oh, yeah.
So he watched me for years, no fat, low fat, whatever, and he's like, I'm freaking out. What do you mean we can have bacon? What do you mean?
Oh, you took him along with you for the ride?
Well, I know, cooking. You know, he would still eat all his stuff. But he's like, you can have all that? We're eating all this stuff? And like, so one of the things I did early on, I don't spend as much time in the kitchen now, but I would, you know, pull out magazine, recipe books, and just try some. I might spend hours making something, you know, from desserts to whatever, just trying different things. But so I got a stack of cookbooks this, you know, all the usual
I like
suspects.
the church cookbooks because they're all growing up with that. The women would like vie for the best recipe, you know. When I was growing up, the Jello section, because back then everything was made Jello salads. There's like lime Jello salad and orange Jello salad with pineapple and carrots and, you know, cottage cheese this and all that stuff. So going through the cookbooks of all, and then the women on the block, you know, we go to their house and eat. Theresa and I could talk all day, so we're going to, but we're going to talk off camera. So you guys, thank you so much for suggesting us meat. I truly appreciate that. And you guys, we'll come back in the next segment because we're going to prick our fingers tonight because I am drinking tea. Harry's being a little bit naughty. He got a little bit of cream in his Starbucks, but he was good sport, plus he tasted the yogurt, but that's all he's getting today. Don't tell him. Anyway, you guys, we'll see you in the next segment. Well, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and close out this video tonight. Theresa is here for how much longer?
2 more days.
I told her Blaze's Pizza is right up the road off of Bell Road North if she wants to get herself a keto pizza. Anyway, you guys, we're going to go ahead and close out. Please remember to like, subscribe, ring that little bell, give us a thumbs up. We'll see you right here tomorrow. Say goodnight.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Say goodnight. Can you say goodnight? Say goodnight. Okay, thank you. Good night. Good girl.
She is so cute. Oh, here you go. Then I'll give you your